commission site-specific sculpture and art is a very integral element to Frieze and its idea on how to engage with visitors. Outside the fair, on the ground nearby, is the sculpture park, inviting for a quiet walk and getting some distance from the busy life inside the tents. On the threshold between the outdoors of Regent's Park and the stalls inside, Mexican sculptor Gariel Kuri has installed his interventional sculptures.
Are they actually intended to be used as ashtrays?
Yeah. No, not trays. Ashtrays. They're just sculptures, but yeah, you're allowed to put out your cigarettes on them, and I mean they have a certain sufficiency as sculptures, but it's really when they're misused, let's say, when they come alive and become better, and really just after the first little intervention, they change so much, and they really become, and it's an additive process. So.
But that's really the question about sculpture, no? Are they there to just being looked at, or are they there to being used as kind of a...
It's both, and it's also something that happens, as I say. So you'll come back in a couple of days and they will have changed, and I conceive them as a participatory work, a piece that changes over time. I provide this shape, and in a sense I provide the circumstance, and then people smoke. That won't change. So I somehow wanted to count on something that's inevitable. I mean, people smoke, and people, take their last drag just before they walk in.
You've investigated these places where people are smoking quite thoroughly, no?
Always, no, but yeah, the piece actually starts with removing the cigarette bins and the ashtrays provided by the fair. So the piece begins with the removal, and then the replacement of those with sculptures. I'm interested in the situation, the circumstance, but also in all the material remains. I've been researching a lot on what happens in these little areas materially, and it's very interesting, how this material accumulates and what happens. And then I thought, this is very sculptural. It has to do with a habit, it's a shape, it's a consistency, and somehow I want to incorporate that into the work.
And now they actually become very beautiful, no?
I think it is, yeah. They are beautiful, and we'll see in a couple of days. They will have changed. They'll probably have many more. Here it seems that people, lean on this smoke a little, and then they. So. It's a little difficult to predict which side will be used more. I just, made sculptures that provided for possibilities. I didn't design ashtrays. These are not ashtrays. These are sculptures. But, you can negotiate with their features and actually use them or misuse them. So that's where the piece starts.